Yo ho, it is I am the one and only Pac-Man here, and I am once again back for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos, as always. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, for the Super Nintendo / Super Famicom for those of you who lived in Japan, and also for the Game Boy Advance as well. So, last time we have basically managed to able to tackle for the first palace in the game, which appears to be the Eastern Palace, which I somehow accidentally say East Palace, but ultimately speaking, I think the game technically calls it Eastern Palace, as far as I'm usually concerned with that. So, yeah, we basically managed to done that particular palace, and also we managed to able to receive the forms of the Pendant of Courage. So as a result though, we've only got 2 pendants left until we're able to claim ourselves the very special magical weapon that we can get our hands on. So today, for this video, is the fact that I think, for this particular video, we're also able to actually tackle for the second palace in the game. So, where is that exactly? Well, originally, we were expecting to able to actually go on to the highest, place, but we're not gonna go there yet, because obviously I'm gonna go into chronological order when it comes to dungeon order and stuff like that. But before we get into that though, there's that particular shrine just usually appears in here, and basically, well, let's just shove these little blocks over there so we can able to regress in here, and from here we got ourselves another levers to pull. So since we've pulled the right one last time on the century, and let's just pull the left lever. So wait a second. Oh, it's an ambush! Ambush filled to the brim with bombs. So why does it always have to choose the right one? Oh, and by the way, you know what the actual disc skull things? Basically, one thing I totally forgot to mention is that if you get hit by those things, basically though, you'll lose your magic meter as well. So keep that in mind. So, and once we're able to empty the water out, so in addition to able to get ourselves another piece of heart, so that way we're now up to 6 heart containers. So, and also, if we decide able to drag the fish along, and basically, if we manage able to take the fish onto that specific lake, like this one for instance, then that way, you get yourselves rubies. So, in this case, though, we'll just obtain 20 rubies to be exact, because obviously he tossed the red one specifically though, so I'm perfectly fine with this. So, anywho though, today's day is of course the 2nd of February today, in this case in 2022 today, so it looks like by that point is the fact that what I've heard, that Sonic he's almost gonna wrap things up in Sonic Colors Ultimate for the actual Let's Play itself. So potentially speaking, that after when he was done, I should say, for the sake of Sonic Colors Ultimate, then obviously he won't be doing any other Sonic Let's Plays for a very, very long while. Until God knows when, until, you know, Sonic Frontiers comes out, as well as the forms of, well, obviously the Sonic Movie 2, and all the other jazz. So, I've no idea why I explore around here, but that's mainly because I have to double check on certain areas that I've somehow missed or not, but turns out I didn't exactly able to actually miss something, so I guess that's like a good thing. So, anyways, what's up with this guy here? Apparently he doesn't speak, so let's see the billboard. Yo, pay no attention to the average middle-aged man. Okay, so we'll just carry that. And what the heck? Why's that man following me? I think I should probably get rid of that sign here. Why did you take my sign? It says plain as day to just leave me alone. Sheesh. Well, sorry. I did not notice I was able to do that way. Anyways, let's go in here. You can't enter with... fine. However, I can able to actually do the idea with this, that if we go on here, then he'll be gone. So, thankfully, he won't bother me anymore. So, anyways, let's hit in here, and to see what's in here, for the sake of... oh, there's another Great Fairy, which... I don't think we can able to be worried about this too much, because after all, that we've already, heal ourselves throughout the majority of the Hyrule itself. So, anyways, let's go up here and just double check on the actual specific locations, specifically in here. That's basically after going upstairs, then we can able to see what's beyond here. Oh, we have this particular fella. Aha. It is the Book of Madora. With it, you can read the language. Okay, so basically he tells us that we actually got the Book of Madonna, or Madora, from the likes of the library. So, yeah, I guess that usually explains that specific hint. And also we got another piece of heart after that particular bomb exploded for that particular crack on that wall. So, it's a good thing that we've double checked on it. So, anyway though, so yeah, we've only got about 2 more days to go now until we are about to be able to be excited to able to watch the Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics. So yeah, let me know in the comments below for the question of the day. Are you guys still looking forward to able to watching the actual the Winter Olympics in terms of you know, 2022? Because I'm sure I am. Especially noticeable, I will give you some more details about that as soon as we're able to continue exploring through the likes of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. And especially noticeable about the fact that, well, until maybe after when Sonic Colors Ultimate Let's Play will be finished by then I'm sure enough that some toys else will be able to mention more about that specific details as well. So either way though, but that'll be stay tuned until specifically, well, let's just say about next week or so. Specifically Tuesdays and Thursdays, potentially speaking. So anyway though, so let's just go ahead and double check on the map quickly. I'm sure I'm in the right way, because as far as I'm aware, we're going to be exploring the rest of the desert. So in this case though, aha, there's the actual route I'm going to go to. And because of that, we stumbled across this little pillar thing right here, which it has filled to the brim with Hyrule language. But if you bring yourselves the Book of Madora, basically you can able to read this. So to open the way to go forward, make your wish here and it will be granted. So in this case, we make your wish here, and that way we can able to actually access to, I would classify for saying, the second powers in the game. So yeah, I have no idea why I just did that, but I'm gonna have to press the button before I progress. So in this way, we can able to actually just to let those 3 weird head statue stuff to able to move around for a bit. And this is the way we can able to go into the second palace in the game. This is known as the Desert Palace. So basically, as far as this particular palace is concerned, I'm pretty sure this particular palace does have 2 sections. So, well, assuming if we're able to actually find a map first before we double check on the actual the palace itself. So anyway, oh, and watch out for those Beanos right there, because if they get on sight on you, basically you get damaged. So you have to be very careful with those guys. Because, fundamentally speaking, I keep thinking about the forms of the Hyrule Warriors, counterparts of these guys, because the only way you can deal with those guys, at least specifically in Hyrule Warriors, as far as I'm concerned, I think you have to deal with bombs or something, or maybe I was a bit, misleading when it comes to that particular hint. That's only mainly because I haven't touched upon Hyrule Warriors for such a long while. So, anyways, let's deal with these guys again, since in the first palace in the game. And of course, we got ourselves the glorious map. So, thankfully we've got that. Although there's also the actual, these lanterns, or these little, firelight things you can able to light up, but it doesn't do anything at all. At least as far as I'm heard about that. So we'll just skip that for now and just continue things on here. So, because yeah, what if I first experienced this particular palace? For some reason or another, I always found this palace to be kind of tricky sometimes. At least whenever I played, not just by the forms of the Wii Virtual Console version of this particular game, but also the Game Boy Advance version as well. That's only mainly because until later. So because of that though, yeah, for the most part, this palace wasn't all that difficult, I don't think. It's just the amount of enemy encounters you have to go through, so. But what if we get to a later portion throughout the whole game? Oh man, we'll talk more about that details until for later, so. Anyway though, so let's go ahead and find a switch somewhere, and there it is right here, so that way we can able to progress. And there's the big chest over there, but we still need able to get the big key in order to able to actually just to open up the chest. So Because yeah, I think for the most part that the actual Let's Play of A Link to the Past, as far as this particular Zelda playthrough is concerned, is actually doing not too shabby for the most part. At least, I will say that this is still feels a little bit more better than is originally attempted in 2018, mainly because my capture card keeps glitching out all of a sudden, and second of all, it's just the fact of the matter is though, it's just the amount of commentary on that part, it just feels a bit meh. So as a result though, yeah, I'm very glad this is improved. And in here, this room might be kind of pointless, aside from the fact that it might actually be a trap. So it just involves you just trying to kill all sorts of enemies, like specifically these little, like, I don't know what you call these particular enemies, I must admit, because either way, it has been 2 days ago since I actually last played this, but still, I can't really honestly complain about it too much, I must admit. So anyway, so now we've done that room, despite the fact that it doesn't contain anything on that room at all. Well, at least as far as completion for that room is concerned. So anyways, let's double check on the map, and as you can see, there are 3 floors to go through. So in this case though, I would suffice to say that this particular dungeon, or specifically the palace as what's known in here, basically though, that you have to come across into, well, 2 sections. So, and we got the compass here, so that should be good to go for this point. So, anyway, so I think in here, this is where we got to, oh god, multitude of balls. And from here, we're able to get the big key, so that'll be good to go for the sake of getting that big chest that we can able to find from earlier on. But before we do with that though, I need to explore around on certain places for a little bit, just in case if I was gonna able to actually double check on certain things that I was missing. So, anyways, oh good, there's a heart right there, but despite I just almost gonna get hit, well mind you, I keep on getting hit most of the time. But anyway, if we go in here though, usually relatively speaking, if you try to head out here, basically this is the way you can able to exit out the actual palace, but we're not going to do that because we're going to have to focus on the actual palace itself, so we'll just stick with that anyway. So, yeah, a few things I want to explain for this point today is the fact that, I suppose I should say, that Maxie has forgotten to mention about, in addition to where Sonic also hasn't mentioned about this either, from the likes of, you know, both Super Mario 3D All-Stars and the Super Mario 64 game, as well as Sonic Colors Ultimate's Let's Play as well. Apparently though, there was actually a new demo just came out on the Nintendo Switch on that specifically compilation games, and those are Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix, and also HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, and also Kingdom Hearts 3 plus Remind DLC as well. And unfortunately though, those few games combined are actually cloud versions, so which I think I'll let Ray will talk more about it until when he goes back on to Mario Party 7. I think at this point so far anyway though, he's now on to the final board in the entire game before he moves on to the last few extras in the game. So anyway, so as you can tell, that we actually got ourselves the big chest opened, and inside it, as you can tell, we've now actually access to the Power Glove. And not to be confused as that pretty miserable NES accessory, mainly because it's a kind of a flop accessory. But I digress. For the Power Glove, basically this allows you to able to have the ability that you can now actually carry rocks now. So because of that though, that'll be a very useful ability, especially noticeable about the fact that you can able to actually go ahead and, oh, there's a very stationary right here. In fact, let me just go ahead and fetch another one of the, actually gotta think about it, there's no point, because obviously I've already filled up 2 fairies on these 2 bottles respectively, so now let's go ahead in here, and because of that, before we continue on, we need to dash forward here and get another piece of heart, so feels like that we've almost like cleared those hearts very easily right here, so anyways, let's not go back in here, because, like I said before, this palace is divided into 2 sections. So, we've already experienced the first section, now let's go and explore the second segment of this particular palace. So, and then things gets a bit deadly though, especially noticeable when it gets to the point where we're now on to, like, the first floor on this particular dungeon itself, or the palace. So, yeah, we're probably gonna have to be very cautious with that. So, and here's the most deadliest room out of them all, though, is these little floor tiles. So basically, though, we're gonna have to able to... I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do here, although, mind you, I seemed able to keep on getting hit on this room. But what we're gonna have to do is the fact that we need to find a key, and sadly, I just died right there. So... But luckily, we've got the fairy equipped, so that way we were able to revive ourselves, so I guess that's a good thing. So, also another thing I want to discuss upon as well is the fact that, recently that... Remember what, Maxi has, mentioned about several times already, ever since in Super Mario 3D All-Stars Let's Play and Super Mario 64 game, that he did say that he was about to give up on the forms of, infos or news updates for the sake of Mario Kart Tour. Well, apparently though, sadly I've got back into that game again, and seems that conveniently enough though, unfortunately though, the next tour that we've already did manage to have got, ever since in the 26th or something like that. I think it's like 26th or something. Is it? Yeah, it's the 26th of January, although mind you, according to this particular day timeline, that particular tour is almost ended. So as a result though, the recent tour that we've got is, sadly, is another team-based tour, which I wasn't really a big fan of. And that this time around though, we have Wario vs Waluigi tour. Although, mind you, the only team I've selected is Team Waluigi, because, let's face it, Waluigi hasn't got his own game yet, whilst compared to Wario does have a couple. So, ranging from his platforming days all the way up to WarioWare stuff. So, yeah, that's the reason why I've decided to choose Waluigi team. But I was a little bit worried about the fact that if my team gets screwed up again, ranging from do not collect those enough of those event tokens and stuff like that, well, I should probably find out and join at some point once we finish that godforsaken team tour, because I'm still not a big fan of those kind of stuff. And by the way, you need to light those little lanterns here, so just in case we can able to progress. And sure enough, that's that door over there will pretty much lead us to the next boss in the game, which I think this is the only boss I seem to have struggled with back in the day, that is, whenever I first time experiencing the game. And this boss appears to be by the forms of Lan Mola. So basically though, you have to defeat multitudes of those Lan Molas. So because of that though, there are 3 of those things right here. So, and obviously there might be a few weaknesses on this boss, which appears to be by the forms of, according to the actual things Wikipedia, it did say use the bow and arrow or the ice rod in order to make the actual short work of them, but honestly though, I haven't really tested for myself, so either way though, yeah, basically I think I was attempting to use the sword, as you can see. And also, before you do anything, is that you have to watch out for those little rocks spewing out after when they got out of the ground. And yeah, this is what I mean with that particular attack, with those 3 things right here. It appears to be like a snakes or something like that. And basically though, is the fact that when I was first time experiencing the game, like I said, on the Wii Virtual Console version of the game, jeez, I got my butt kicked. Especially noticeable, I keep on getting a lot of game overs on that boss fight. I think this is mainly just because of the forms of that stone attack they keep sending us, so that's mainly because about the fact that they spewed out 4 in a diagonal directions, whilst until whenever we get to this last phase, I'm pretty sure he'll spew out the 6 of them if I was assuming correctly, even though mind you, I haven't exactly experienced this boss fight for such a long time. But either way though, we'll just go ahead and deal with even more hits on them. So I think it does take a couple of hits on these guys, and then if you try to able to get enough hits on one of them, then oh jeez, I'm almost gonna be dying right here, but just need to be cautious now. So, anywho though, and the only good thing about the tour for me though, is the fact that once again they bring back a familiar course from the likes of Mario Kart 7, and this time around it brings back Wario Shipyard, or should I say WarioWare Galleon, as what's known in the European version as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, that was actually a cool, welcoming track to able to make a return though. And this time around though, it's just only for smartphones only. So either way though, that it's almost to a point where basically though, every single Mario Kart 7 tracks almost makes a return, except for a couple of exceptions, which I'll discuss all now as soon as we're able to leave the palace. So, you won the Pendant of Power. Your goal of finding 3 pendants is in sight. Alrighty then. So, go for the last one. Or should I say, the Pendant of Wisdom, because as you can see, that the pendant that we've got, it was blue. So, can it possibly be the Wisdom should be blue, and then the red one could be consist of power? I have no idea. But I'm pretty sure maybe the Game Boy Advance version did manage able to fix that particular text problem. But either way though, it has been a long while since I actually did manage to research on this game, so... Anyway, so now we're done with the forms of the second palace in the game. I was quite surprised that I somehow managed to survive on that boss, despite the fact that I did somehow die on that particular floor tile section, so... Oh well, no big deal, but at the very least we can able to explore into this cave section here, which not only does it have filled to the brim with those rubies that we can easily collect it, but also we can able to talk to this guy. Check out the cave east of Lake Hyria. Strange and wonderful things live in it. Alright, seems like standard fare for the sake of secrecy and stuff. But I digress. So, I suppose another thing I should probably explain about this as well, I think. Basically though, is the fact that I was going to able to try to also get the Xbox version of Sonic Riders, the original Sonic Riders game. No, not the forms of that terrible Sonic 3 Riders on Xbox 360 Kinect game, because I still don't have the Kinect, and it seems kind of pointless for me, because most of the time it works on certain software, but most of the time for third-party supportive games is lacking, so... Yeah, anywho though. But I might decide able to actually get the original Sonic Riders on the original Xbox until specifically on this Easter, because obviously I'm still able to spend on something like, well, obviously I'm still waiting to pre-order Kirby and the Forgotten Land, enjoying at some point until next month right now. Well, almost a month later, so because of that though, because we are still on February at the moment, so... Oh jeez, those guards with bow and arrows, they kind of annoying honestly to deal with, but that's probably just me anyway though, so alright, so we'll just dash forward by simply using Pegasus shoes, or Pegasus boots, as what I always keep thinking about the forms of the Ocarina of Time variant of that particular item that you can able to dash forward, because, well, I just keep on calling it that, so... Alright, so we'll just, oh jeez, I always get hit by these guys like nothing else. Although, if you try to, let the shield go through, then basically, though, you can protect yourselves with those bow and arrows and stuff. Hang on, let me just try to finish you off. There you goes. And also, we get spare arrows if we keep on loading on them, so... Anyways, since we're now onto this particular bridge section, so in this case, though, we can able to... not only trying to meet up with one of those characters, but this way is, yeah, well, I'll explain more about it as soon as we get to it, so... Anyway, so let's grab some more rubies, despite the fact that we are pretty much maxed out when it comes to rubies in this game, so, yeah, we can expect this much. So, yeah, we'll deal with these choo-choos by using a bow and arrow, because that will protect you for like that, so... Anyway, so let's, well, I've no idea what's up with this thing here, so... Double, Troil and Trouble, Fire, Burn, and Cauldron Bubble, making Mushroom Brew, can I? Or, I have no idea, because sometimes that the text, when I was trying to able to do some commentary, gets a lot smaller than I thought it was, but, I do apologize for that, so... Anyway, so let's just, go ahead and keep on moving forward here. And, by the way, with those particular stones like this, you can only just try to destroy them by simply using Pegasus boots in order able to, or Pegasus shoes, in this game's case. That way we can able to progress. And I believe from in here, this is where we're able to actually get ourselves kind of a useful item to have. Especially noticeable about the fact that, well, obviously, if you try to dive right into the water, basically though, I would say you lose a bit of your health. So as you can see, we ended up on this unknown location at this point in time. So this meaning about the fact that we have to navigate for this particular section, as you can see. And if we keep on moving, then obviously that we're gonna have to able to... I'm pretty sure this is a dead end, isn't it? Yes, pretty much a dead end. So, yeah, if you fell in the water, basically, though, you get hit, apparently. Although, there is that special item you can able to get once you try to pass for this part right here, and that should able to help us out, and also have the ability to able to swim. So, yeah, this will be awesome, especially noticeable that before Ocarina of Time, and also say applies to Majora's Mask as well, and any other Zelda games for that matter, you can actually have the ability to swim, so that'll be pretty cool. Unlike in Zelda 1 though, that you cannot actually swim at all. So, okay, it's another dead end, so we have to turn back, and also we have to watch out for these particular strange creatures called Zors right here. Although they keep on spewing out some fireball projectile apparently. So if we carefully manage to navigate through ourselves towards in here, this is where we find this particular special thing that we can able to now get. Whoa, what do you want, little man? Do you have something to ask me? I want the flippers. Whoa, but I don't just give flippers away for free. So it's cost about 500 rupees in order to able to get those swimming flippers. Or to be more specifically, that since we now finally got those flippers, in this case we've now got Zor's flippers. You should now able to actually have the ability to swim. So yeah, we can now swim now, and this also means is the fact that we can able to... Actually, let me just hit over down there, so that way we can able to jump off the waterfall, and then basically, after we land on this spot right here, that way we're able to go this way, so that we can able to get ourselves another piece of heart, just nearby. So, yeah, we only got one piece of heart left until we basically guaranteed able to get the next heart container, which... that should probably lead us to 8 so far, so we can able to expect this much. But before we leave the entirety of this particular area, or should I say we'll leave this particular section of this world right now, so there's actually another thing we can go to. Well, first of all, let me take care of these enemies first. And basically, there's actually that particular entrance beyond that waterfall. And basically though, if you're entering here, and then basically we're gonna come across into a mysterious pond, and basically though, would you throw something in there? Let's just say, let's go ahead and throw the boomerang into that mysterious pond, and basically this will be handy for you, especially noticeable if you're having a tough time throughout the majority of the adventure. So, hello there, did you drop this? Yes, I do. I like an honest person, I will give you something better in return. So this means we're able to get ourselves the upgraded version of the boomerang, or calls it the magical boomerang. So this might actually be the strongest version of the regular boomerang as we got from the beginning of the game. So yeah, that's actually pretty useful, but there's also the shield that we can able to toss in, but I'll save it until the next video, because I'm afraid I don't think I've got enough time for that, although I will try to mention more details about the Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics until that day comes. So, anyway, so join me next time on Let's Play The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. Is the fact that we'll continue exploring through Hyrule, to able to find some other things here and there, before we move on to the third palace in the game. So I'll see you guys on Friday. Later, fellas.